In the summer of 1977, radio telescopes around the world tuned into a strange signal coming from deep space. It was a narrow band of electromagnetic energy lasting only 50 seconds. And when translated into sound, it made this eerie whistling noise. In 1961, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or CTI, began its mission to find signs of life beyond Earth. One astronomer even claimed that he had seen evidence of laser beams and huge structures in space. Where are they? He's referring to little green men, of course. And his question was based on the assumption that there must be intelligent life out there somewhere. But if that's true, then why haven't we found them yet? According to this view, there's some kind of being out there in the universe that prevents species from becoming too powerful. That we are alone in the universe, and that there's no one coming to save us. If that's true, then it means that we're responsible for the fate of our planet and its inhabitants. We're the ones who will either save or destroy it. So what will it be? This being could be an alien species or even a natural phenomenon. But whatever it is, it seems intent on keeping us in check. Some believe that the Great Filter is actually a benevolent force that protects the universe from harm. This being may be watching over us, making sure we don't become too dangerous to the rest of the universe. After all, if there are so many planets out there with the potential for life, then surely there must be some kind of balance to keep things in order. But others believe that the Great Filter is a much more sinister force, something that seeks to destroy any species that gets in its way. This being could be an alien species that wipes out civilizations before they have a chance to spread among the stars. Or it could be something even more terrifying, a natural phenomenon that kills off entire populations just for fun. Whatever the case may be, the Great Filter suggests that we are not alone in the universe, and that there's some kind of greater power watching over us. There are roughly 100 billion Earth-like planets out there and trillions of humans. So it seems likely that we should have encountered some kind of life already, right? Well, the answer may lie in the Fermi Paradox, which basically states that if there are so many planets out there that could support life, then why don't we see more of it? The most obvious answer is that life simply doesn't occur naturally. Perhaps we really are alone in the universe, and there's no one else out there. But there's another terrifying possibility that some cataclysmic event wiped out every other civilization before they had a chance to spread among the stars. And this is known as the Great Filter. But despite countless hours listening to the skies, the wow signal was never repeated. But what could this filter be? Well, one idea is that it's not a physical object at all, but instead some kind of intellectual barrier. You see, becoming an intergalactic species requires some serious know-how. Not only do you need to develop the technology to travel through space, but you also need to survive the dangers of deep space and find resources on new worlds. And all this requires intelligence far greater than our own. Perhaps there's some great filter that prevents species from advancing to the next level, something that only a highly intelligent race would be able to overcome. And if that's true, then we may have passed it already. After all, we are on the verge of creating artificial intelligence that could rival our own intelligence. If we can overcome this barrier, then who knows what the future may hold. Maybe one day we'll be an intergalactic species ourselves. But if not, then we may be doomed to live out our lives here on Earth, never knowing what could have been. Scientists now believe that it may have come from a human source. It may have been a satellite or an experiment gone wrong. But no matter the explanation, it remains the biggest mystery of the UFO phenomenon. For decades, scientists have searched for other radio signals just like the wow signal, and yet nothing has ever come close. So what's going on out there? Are we really alone? Its scientists figured that if there were intelligent life forms out there, they would have to be emitting some kind of electromagnetic radiation, whether it be radio waves, infrared light, or X-rays. All these different forms of energy could then be detected and analyzed by orbiting satellites and ground-based telescopes. The idea was that if we listened long enough, we would eventually hear a transmission meant for us. And it didn't take long at all. Within just a decade, in 1977, the Big Ear Radio Telescope in Ohio picked up a mysterious blip in its search for extraterrestrial intelligence. It was only 30 seconds long and didn't last long after being discovered, but it changed the course of scientific history forever. The discovery became known as the wow signal. And although it wasn't exactly what scientists had expected, It was the closest thing we've ever had to proof of extraterrestrial intelligence. The WOW signal was a narrow band of radio energy lasting just 50 seconds. At first glance, it appeared artificial. That's because it matched the exact range we reserve for deep space communication, which is between 1 and 5 gigahertz. Any transmissions outside of this range wouldn't interfere with our own radio signals. But the WOW signal was right in the middle of this band. To make matters even more suspicious, it came from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation, which is home to a binary star system called Sigma Draconis. What's more, the stars in this system are very similar to our own sun, meaning that there could be a planet capable of sustaining life in its habitable zone. In fact, it was calculated that the distance between Earth and Sigma Draco was about 100 light years away, making it one of our closest potential neighbors in the universe. Although the WOW signal lasted just 50 seconds, scientists estimated that transmissions from distant stars would appear much weaker and shorter than those nearby. So this may have been our lucky break. After all, if we had listened to this transmission, we may have heard a message from an alien species trying to contact us. But unfortunately, that's never happened again. To this day, it's known as the WOW signal. And many believe it was a genuine attempt by extraterrestrials to make contact with Earth. But almost 50 years later, still haven't picked up any other signals like it. And it makes you wonder, are we alone in the universe? And is there something truly terrifying preventing us from ever finding out? This is The Great Filter. I'm the host. This is our channel. And this is the terrifying theory explaining why we haven't found aliens yet. After the WOW signal, researchers grew more confident that we were not alone in the universe. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi asked a simple question that turned out to be extremely thought-provoking. This theory suggests that there is something standing in the way of any species becoming like us, or further, some great filter that prevents them from advancing. Another terrifying theory is that the Great Filter isn't something we pass, but someone. But perhaps the most terrifying theory of all is that there is no Great Filter. So what do you think? Is there a Great Filter keeping us from advancing? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to give this video a like. It really helps us out. Thanks for watching. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already.